I'm sorry if I get a little emotional during this, but right before we started recording today, of course, news broke that former U.S. Senator and vice presidential candidate Joe Lieberman has died.
People, check your Molly before you do it. That's all we can say.
Well, Felix, I was wondering, I didn't even know he was sick. He was just in the news last week scolding Chuck Schumer for being mean to Netanyahu. Then it turns out he died because of, quote, complications relating to a fall, which I think is a really supremely ironic way for someone who is like against video game violence in the Senate to die from taking fall damage.
Yeah. No, he didn't get the cat ring from Dark Souls 2. You have to be a really shitty old person to die from a fall. Old people fall all the fucking time. My grandmother's 104, and the only way she gets from one place to another is basically through a series of falls. And she just keeps getting stronger. If you die, as an old person from falling, either, you got murdered for your Wurlitzer that your grandkids are going to sell, or you're just you weren't cut out for being old.
Yeah.
Not everybody is,
Yeah.
I will note that Joe Biden is only 1 year older than Joe Lieberman, a guy who just got obliterated by losing his balance for half a second.
Yeah, but look how much Joe Biden, another guy who gets from point A to point B by falling.
It's true.
And he just gets right back up.
He's a lot hardier. Or at least he has the cat ring. That's one of the amulets of protection that they give him every time he leaves the White House.
Yeah, Delaware is Dark Souls 2. Just a horrifying blend of environs that don't make sense. Time is convoluted. I will always remember Joe Lieberman. Anyone who was on the liberal internet in the early to mid 2000s, of course, remembers the dawn of democracy, the era of Ned Lamont. But I will always remember him for, when he he made his wife be more Jewish. When he was like, okay, your name's Hadassah now. And she was like, okay.
It's one of the bravest things you can do. That's the David Brooks move.
Yeah, getting your wife to change her first name. That's real pimping. That's not perpetrator pimping. That's real pimping.
Hadassah is crazy. He wasn't just it's crazy enough to tell a 50-year-old woman, okay, your name has to be Rachel or Sarah or something, but Hadassah, that's a girl that King David fucked.
Getting with their wives' handmaidens, getting into the Hebrew vino.
I got a bitch called Bathsheba.
I was trying to think back to some of Joe Lieberman's highlights over his career, and outside of being a huge supporter of the war in Iraq and Israel, of course, the things that came to mind was the violence in video games hearings, and then I remembered, despite being on remembered mostly for being a hawk and for many of America's worst wars and Israel's worst crimes. He is also one of the main reasons we don't have a public option for Medicare. Any even slight expansion of Medicare or the lowering of the age limit for Medicare, he was been basically solely responsible for killing. So, I mean, he's done so much good for the world. I hope he meets he's in a more appropriate place now, is what I'm saying.
I will never forget that fucking Howard Dean Twitter thread from 2017. Where he basically said, oh, yeah, we had all the votes for universal health care, but in order to get it through, we would have had to strip Joe Lieberman of his committee privileges. And obviously, you don't do that to a guy.
You don't. You do not do that. You do not do that to a man like Joe Lieberman. I guess I'd like to know more about the fall. Was it a staircase situation? That's usually what happens here. Someone left a roller skate outside his bedroom. Was it a hilarious sort of Looney Tunes style accident? I don't know.